G'day everyone, Aussie Camp Dad. We've got our new Jayco all-terrain 19'6" east-west bed with twin bunks in the back. One of the reasons we went with it is this big, beautiful black checker plate toolbox on the front. So rather than have the BBQ slide out of the tunnel boot, which you can buy drawers for off the shelf, you just got to take the lid off the BBQ. I'm pretty sure the Ziggies you don't have to, the lid folds right back. But I don't want to take the lid off, so I'm going to use all this height in the toolbox. The lighting's not great there, but basically this side of the toolbox uses 3/4, and then the other side did have a drawer in it. I took that out because that's going to be storage for fire pit, chainsaw, a few other things like that all live in canvas bags. And then you got the beautiful little storage area up the top for all your hoses, pegs and other little things. So I've gone to Bunnings, bought a bit of alloy stuff. I'm trying to do this so that way anyone can DIY it. So I bought the drawer runners. They're 1 metre long, or just over 1 metre long, the drawer runners to go in here. And yeah, basically everything is online or from Bunnings, so hopefully this video will be able to help anyone who wants to build a set of drawers where you don't need a welder or anything like that, just mainly drill, angle grinder or drop saw for cutting the alloy, and pop rivets. We'll see how it goes, see how it turns out. First step, so we've measured out the depth of our toolbox. It measured out to be 1050, so yeah, long. So it just meant that I had to make sure that my drawer runners were slightly less. So when we measure the drawer runners, they're 1045. So bang on. There should be about 5 or 6 mil wiggle room. Yeah, so these. I just went online looking for 1 metre long drawer runners. Found these ones to be the most reasonable price. The postage I think ended up being about $150 or $120 all up. So Bunnings don't actually have them this long. That's the only reason I didn't get them from Bunnings. So we measure this to get, probably cut my angle line at about 1 metre. So I bought 50 by 50 mil by 3 mil thick aluminium angle. So we've measured that. We've got 1 metre, 2 1 metre lengths, one for each. We'll cut them now. Now we just want to take the edges off. I'm just using a file. So that'll be the bit that bolts down inside the toolbox. And then when you pull that down, everything will just slide out. Alright, if you're a bit of a tool enthusiast like me, you'll have one of these pop riveters. If not, just the hand held one's fine. I think this is 4.9 mil thick, or 4.8 mil thick rivet. I think it's about 15 mil long. So I've just drilled the 5 mil holes on the back of the drawer runner into the aluminium angle, and then we just poke this through So the reason we're going a shorter alloy rivet is because we don't want the tag end that's sticking out to foul when this closes. That's that. So then when we close it, closes, and that'll mount like that inside the toolbox. And once we build the frame, we'll rivet the frame to this inside one, and that'll give it its stability. Yep, that's one. And just do the same with the other side, so probably should have peeled that sticker off, but rivets, still got to rivet that one. But yeah, no welding. Trying to do it without welding, so anyone can make one. You just need some basic hand tools. Do the next one. Okay, so what I've done now that the draw runner's mounted to the aluminium angle, on the bottom side, just at the back end of your draw runner, just do 2 holes, like they're 100mm apart, 50mm from the end, one at halfway, and then one right at the front. So the reason we double 2 mounts at the back, because that's where a lot of the pressure is going to be, trying to lift up once the draw's out. So yeah, just double that up, and she should be right. They're in test fit, so they're not mounted yet. Probably going to use nut certs to mount these. Maybe just because this toolbox does have a false floor in it, so to get a nut and bolt through there is going to be a bit hard. You could rivet it. If you're going to rivet it, I'd just suggest doing some more mounting holes, so probably 3 at the back, 2 in the middle, 2 at the front. But yeah, I'm going to use nut certs. Just makes it easier for taking it out later on if I ever have to. But the idea is that you don't mount this until you've built the frame, because the frame is what's going to give it support, and you need to get the frame pretty much perfect, because these draw runners don't like operating on angles. So we'll start getting the frame measured up, cut up, bang that together and mount it all. Yeah, keep going. So this is what we're using to make our frame. Again, down the Bunnings. I actually saw this on another YouTuber's channel. He built a draw system for his canopy on his Isuzu D-Max. Yeah, so I thought I'd give it a go, because in the end it's DIY. You don't need a welder. But yeah, so that's sort of going to be the layout. I bought the 2 3-meter lengths rather than buying all the short bits. It just worked out more cost effective to buy the longer length. Yeah, so I'll measure this up. You just when you do measure it up and cut your alloy, just remember that when you have to account for these parts here. So they're 25mm. So just account for them when you make your cuts. So yeah, definitely measure 3 or 4 times before you cut, because you don't want to be running back to the hardware to pick up another length of the alloy tube. That was probably the most expensive part of this whole build. Yeah. Measure 3 times, cut once. So I cut my crossbars, or whatever you want to call them, first, and then all you do is just get the hammer, or rubber mallet's probably preferred, and you can push these in a few mil by hand, and then you just bang them in the rest of the way. They're all cut to the same length, so that way this will stay nice and square. You can sort of see how that's going to sit in like that. So all I've got to do is measure these parts, and it's going to be a box frame. And what I want to be able to do is use some of this diamond mesh that I've got from when we replaced our security screens on the house. I've used this stuff in the canopy on the D-Max to make up some racking. Very light, very versatile. If you're doing this at home, you can just get a bit of the aluminium checker plate or something like that and just rivet it to the bottom and the sides. That's what I'd do if I didn't have that laying around. Yeah, we'll keep going. Alright, so true fashion in a project, I'm going to have to shoot back to the hardware to pick up some more tubing. Just pulled up short, but that's the base, so it's upside down at the moment. I'll cut out the diamond mesh. So what I'm going to do is I've got these rivets, nice long thin ones, and I'll just go through and sort of drill and rivet around the whole thing. That'll help brace it as well, but that's the base, so when I flip that upside down, that'll hold any cargo that I put in there. So yeah, I'll just set that up and get drilling and riveting.
Now I'll flip it over to the other side, and like I said, I'll shoot back to the hardware to get some more tubing so I can finish the frame off.
Alright, after 2 more trips back to the hardware store, what I've done, I haven't mounted it yet because I've got to do my height, but I decided to give it a little lick of paint. Probably should have bought the pre-painted one or the pre-powder coated one, but seeing as I would have had to paint the diamond grill mesh, much for muchness. I did a test fit, and of course me saying measure twice, measure 3 times, cut once, backfired on me. I was still just like 1 centimetre too wide, so I had to bring it in 5 mil either side. That wasn't too bad. That was one of the reasons I had to go back to the hardware, because as I was trying to pull this apart, I did break one of the corner pieces. But she's all come up Mickey Mouse now, so now I just got to measure, so the top of the toolbox, basically get my height. That's the bit I've got to work out now. So measure the height of the toolbox minus the BBQ. So just running with the BBQ seems to be enough for just when it's me and the family. There it is, all framed up. Bit of work bashing it. And then got this bit of timber to go on top. Finish it off nice. So now I've got to go chuck it in the toolbox, mark out the rib nuts, drill them out, put them in, and then cut the bench top, test fit it, and bolt it down. I'd like to say that it went in easy. It's definitely in. I've just got to put the top on. I'm a bit close on this side. And you definitely need, oh, I might get away with it. Need 2 hands to, I don't know, pull it out. That's how far it comes out. So I'm going to put the top on. That's how it's going to look. Now we'll chuck stuff in under there. There's only about a mil or 2 clearance, which is by accident perfect. So yeah, I'll screw this bench top down and she's all gravy. All done. So just easiest way to mount it for me was just a couple of stainless screws, 1 in each foot. Plenty of depth. Plenty of storage. Yeah, accessible from the other side. Slides in Nice and easy. That's it, it's all packed away. Love it. So that job took me a good part of the day. I'd do 3 trips back to Bunnings. I think it's come up alright. Hopefully cook some mad feeds while we're on the road. Cheers. Like and subscribe.